I do not know if you've heard the story about a new pastor in town that, trying to get to know most of his parishioners, decided he would visit some. There was a woman who came to say goodbye to him through the end of the service one day, and he asked if he could come and visit. She said, "Of course, why don't you come by Wednesday at 2 p.m.?" So he did. And when he got to the door, he rang the bell, but there was no answer. So he rang again and again, and still no answer. He took out his business card and on one side wrote down, "Revelations 3:20, behold, I stand at the door and knock," and left his card. The next Sunday, the woman was present at church, and after worship, they had an exchange. He said, "I showed up at Wednesday at 2, rang the doorbell, but no one answered." She took out that business card, flipped it over, and handed it to him. And on the back, she had written in Genesis 3:10, "I was naked, so I hid." So I'm sharing with you next a list of some very famous people who started out life with some very infamous reputations. It is said that Einstein could not speak until he was 4 years old, that Isaac Newton was regarded as a poor student, that Beethoven was regarded as a hopeless musician, that Walt Disney was fired for having no imagination. Thomas Edison was rated as too stupid to learn, and Winston Churchill failed the 6th grade and was expelled from school. Well, that's quite a list. And yet every one of those people had quite the accomplished life. It's as if each of their dreams came true. So I'm wondering about you and me, and wondering if we had similar kinds of reputations formed early in our lives. I probably did too. But here's the thing. God has gifted all of us in very special and unique ways. The question is, how has God gifted us? And what are those gifts anyway? Well, the Apostle Paul lists a few of them in today's scripture readings from Romans. Teaching, leading, serving, giving, encouraging are some of them. So in order to determine what your gifts may be, I invite you to look back in your life to the times of your best experiences, those times when you were in the flow of things. In those best experiences, I believe, are revealed those gifts that God has given us, and that those gifts may form our life's purpose, or at least those things we would like to do. At a recent men's retreat at Jonesville United Methodist Church, I was asking the men about their life's purpose and their giftedness. And they eventually asked me about mine. So as I have reviewed my life, the gift that I think has been alive and absolutely forms my purpose is team building. And that goes back to my first days in scouting as a junior assistant scoutmaster for an explorer group, through my time in the Army, through seminary, to the musical groups along the way I have formed, the sports groups I have participated with, and really my entire ministry has been about team building. So as you wonder about your giftedness and your life purpose, I want you to draw upon those best experiences. And once you have discovered perhaps what your gifts are and how God may be using them to develop your life purpose, you might choose to focus on them, even meditate upon those gifts. Because there's a very important principle at work here, and that principle is what we focus on becomes our reality. What we focus on becomes our reality. And I'm convinced that as we focus and develop those gifts, God supplies the energy and the motivation to keep on keeping on. So that old term, it takes teamwork to build the dream work, comes true. So am I dreaming? Absolutely, folks. I'm dreaming that as you discover once again those gifts that God has given you that form your life purpose, you will continue to act upon them, not only to answer God's invitation, but also to allow others who see you to wonder about their own gifts, and so begin the process of discovery. So absolutely am I dreaming. I'm dreaming that your dreams come true. I'm dreaming that the future of First Church Schenectady will blossom as never before into a new reality. May we all continue to dream. So may it be. Amen.